Hi Parapeeps, Jared Walters here with another video, and this is the code updates for October 2020. If you guys have been following our channel for a while, you'll know that we had Jesse An Nichols George, who is a code interpreter and uses all different forms of divination, etc. to give predictions and insights and that sort of thing as to what is going on in the world, what's going on in our lives, and how the different sort of esoteric sides of it have an impact. So if you want to know her prediction for October, that's coming up in this video. This video is in two parts. So the first part of the video is going to be the October update, and the second part of the video is going to be the insights and feedback from what she said about September and what actually happened. So that's going to be quite interesting to go back over some of the stuff that she said and some of the stuff that we found actually happened. Let us know in the comment section below, did you find the insights she gave for September were useful, and did they come true for you, and did they have any impact or effect on you guys who watched the September video? Let us know in the comment section below. And just one quick last thing before we go to the code updates for October. Jesse Ann's book, The Code Journey, is now available in ebook format, absolutely free, no cost entailed. The link for which is going to be in the description below, so I'll put that down below. You can take a look at her insights for the remainder of 2020, so that's for October, November and December, broke down day by day, and obviously have a look deeper into her story and her insights for the year that we've just been all living through, and see how bang on that she actually was for yourself. So take a look at that, guys. She's also going to be releasing the 2021 version of the Code Journey towards the end of the year, and we'll be covering more information on that on this channel as well.
October, as we move into that month, we're going to see people coming to the aid of others. So this is very interesting, following the codes of September, where we see the breaking off from corrupt relationships, breaking of partnerships due to corruption, and those people that break off are most likely going to come to the aid of those people who are offering positive or good relationships. So this is one of those last minute things that we could really see a lot of pull coming away from, say, Biden or people he's associated with, and moving towards Trump. And we might see a lot more big world leaders coming forward and giving him support in things. And that's just a natural sequence of events when you look at a breaking away or an ending of a corrupt relationship, and then support going to positive relationships in there. A lot of jealousies, a lot of insecurities getting exposed, and we could actually see a potential assassination attempt on somebody. Might be Trump, might be somebody else. There could be different people. If somebody's broken away from a bad relationship, we might see a assassination on them. So, if you've got a world leader that says, nope, I'm not going to be part of the corruption anymore, and they break away, they could be the victim of an attempt on there. The good thing is that all the energy currents, when we look at these power structures, is it's favoring the people that are doing the right thing. When we look at the code currents, it's favoring the people doing the right thing. So even if there's an assassination attempt made, it's being made from the basis of trying to feel successful or better than somebody else. And it is, that could come even in the form of just doing a lot of discrediting as opposed to an actual physical attempt in there. But it definitely is going to focus around our world leaders and our politicians in there. And it's unlikely that the attempt would be successful. So we're, here again, we're seeing that good versus evil dynamic that I talked about earlier, that's throughout the end of this year coming up, where, hey, if you're going to break away from our communist structure or our globalist structure or our Marxist structure, then look at what's going to happen to you. We're going to attack you. We're going to go after you. So that's kind of the dynamic I could see playing out there. From October 1st to the 22nd, we've got true leadership coming forth during that time. So again, a lot of, actually, even in all of this chaos, a lot of positive energy. And we're gonna see that coming out, and we'll see a little bit of a fight coming out from those that are trying to take leadership positions in order to create strife. So, get the popcorn out, as they say, because it's going to be quite a show. There's going to be a lot of mudslinging in October. For those that aren't sure what that is, that's a lot of lies, a lot of just bantering back and forth of, well, you did this and you did that and you did that, right. And a lot of verbal attacking going on during that time. And then as we move into the last week of October, there's a lot of revolutionary energy coming up. We might see some baiting of those with confidence. Well, let's see how strong your confidence is. There's going to be a lot of targeting that last week of October on those people who are exposing the truth. Where we may see more censorship at that time. We might see more accounts coming down from people who are exposing the truth. So we have definite components there that are going on. And we have, again, endings and transformation. But what we want to keep in mind with the endings and the transformation and these pieces that are happening is there's a really sweet victory on the other side of it. So if we can hold that in our heads and say, man, this really sucks going through this, but there's a really sweet victory if we get through it. So, that if we can hold that positive piece in our head, that'll be great. What's going to be interesting in this last week of October, and this could tie into what some people call conspiracy theories, right? About the bringing down of all of this corruption and people being indicted and, will they be sentenced? Will they be put to death? What's the thing? There's rumors out there in what they call the conspiracy realm that a lot of celebrities who have indictments against them will have a choice of appearing as suicide or public exposure or things like that. And so there is actually in the code patterns strong amount of celebrity deaths happening. I'm seeing there are shooting sprees that are showing coming up in the codes in overly populated areas. And I imagine these are going to be false flags, in all honesty. Corruption is probably going to send somebody out there. There probably is. Yes, there's probably going to be innocent people hurt in this situation, but they are probably going to be false flags. They're staged events is most likely what it's going to be. And we will see a lot of car accidents, a lot of just strange happenings, things that seem like they're defying physics or defying the reality of how things should happen. So this last week of October is going to bring in a lot of high profile family arguments. We could even see one of them, I could possibly see CNN has been setting it up for there to be controversy. I think it's in Korea with the Kims and Kim Jong-un and then his sister in there. And there's been all these rumors going on and little subtle pieces for a few months about, he's going to disappear and she's going to take over. And so I could see in circles like that, or even in the royal family, I could see the conflicts, say, between Prince Harry and Prince Andrew, or, these circles. We're going to see their family conflicts, their contradictions coming more out into the open. So
as soon as you said that, I had royal family.
So I think, this is going to be a really intense week. And of course, this is the week and a half prior to election. So you've got, even if this wasn't an election year, there would be a lot happening from these code patterns. And if that's not enough, we're going to be throwing in there really dramatic and severe weather patterns. On top of this, Mother Nature is going to be reacting to all of this turbulence.
I hope I get my roof fixed by then.
Yeah, please get your roof fixed. Make sure your structures are stable. Make sure you've got extra provisions so that you're, okay for a week or 2 weeks or something like that, in the event that something happens in your area. I mean, but it's all reacting. Mother Nature is reacting to the turbulence in the area. And that's real magnified even in the first couple of weeks of October. Just the spiraling of lies. It's going to be really hard to separate lies from truth. And but again, it's a big breakthrough time. It's a big transformation time. It's a time where one of the big pieces or aspects of transformation in October is going to be about leaving behind materialism. And we need to separate the materialism from just money in there. Materialism is the greed. It's a type of lifestyle. It's a striving for material things. So what that does when we leave that behind, it means that we're going to be bringing in an increase of values and ethics in things.
I just made some notes of a few things that you said, Anne, for with regards to September, and I just found it was so on point with some of the things that you said. I've written a few notes here. We are each in for hard lessons. Is one of the things you said. What you need to be, we need to be paying attention to where the successes are and where the failures are, and we need to require patience, peace, and observation. You said between the 1st and the 22nd, you're seeing a lot of things with relationship endings. Now, I'm looking at things in the British media, and we had a lot going on. As you know, Britain is leaving the EU. There was a lot of things to do with the way in which our government has acted in regards to that, which you could consider a relationship ending. There have been things in the media about relationships with China becoming strained with different countries, which is something you picked up on. You also said about who was becoming more the leader and who was becoming more the voice of corruption. And it was an interesting article which has been going around in sort of more moderate circles in the UK about the Chancellor, our Chancellor of the Exchequer, being the only person, now irregardless of whether you like the person or not, but he was the only person where we're having new restrictions placed on us in the UK, new lockdowns. Apparently we're seeing more hospital admissions, etc. with regards to COVID. But he was the only person that stood up and said that we shouldn't be living in fear and actually addressed that point. And a lot of commentators actually picked up on that the people that we normally see in Britain, which is Matt Hancock and Boris Johnson, were very seldom saying anything of the sort. And especially with the chief scientists that we have, Chris Whitty and Vallance and Halfwit, I can't remember their actual names, Patrick Vallance and Chris Whitty, and the press conference they did about a week and a half ago, which basically put the fear of God into anyone watching the mainstream media over the last couple of weeks. You could see a kind of like, you can see where the cracks are forming, and we have had a lot of people now speaking out about the way our government has behaved with this Coronavirus Act and the restrictions they've put on. They literally banned singing and dancing in pubs yesterday. You can actually, if a pub is now caught in the UK with someone singing and dancing in them, they can be fined up to £1,000. is ridiculous. I can understand there's some of the reasoning behind it, because obviously about the spreading of aerosol and all the rest of it, but literally no explanation. Just, yeah, if you're singing and dancing in a pub, it's £1,000 fine. You're seeing rapid movement. Well, we're having to see sort of many U-turns. I've been also looking into the business world, and especially over on your side in the US and in the UK as well. There's also a lot of people actually going into business for themselves and using the lockdowns and things like that to start online businesses, which I thought was quite an interesting kind of thing. Mandatory vaccinations was actually brought up in Parliament today. That there's a lot of people raising concerns with MPs, the fact of whether they're going to get a choice or not when or if a COVID vaccine is made. It is made possible. And you were also saying about migration of people, and I seen an article yesterday, and there's a lot of things that's been covered in September where people are moving out of the cities. And I seen an interesting article for where we are in Wales. Is a lot of house prices in rural areas are going up because there's a huge interest in people moving now from the cities and wanting to live in more rural environments because they're working from home. You also said there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out about the Q movement. We've definitely saw that, especially in the mainstream media. And you are seeing between the 6th and 22nd, you see the difference between command and control, and that's very much been in the debate with regards to one of the I always say to, and I've done this on Now Debates before, one of the places I've been following is TalkRadio in the UK, because they've been on point with at least giving as many different people a voice as possible. And they've had people on there like I agree with, they've had people on there I vehemently oppose. But a lot of the questions and the analysis they have been giving has been very much on point. So a lot of the things that you said in September, and I don't know whether or not, but I'm gonna put this in as a giant thing, because I'm a gamer and gaming is one of my hobbies. But Xbox buying Bethesda was probably the biggest deal in gaming happened in September ever. Which was quite an interesting thing. I don't know whether that sort of factors into it, but I wanted to bring that up because, again, it's things that change the landscape, and you said about noticing where the successes are. Now, if you look at, I just noticed in the console market, and I know this might going off slightly off topic here, but the fact that like people are as much as I don't like big corporations, but the model that Microsoft has compared to Sony, where it's more now a subscription based, where people pay a small amount of money and have access to lots of games rather than paying £70 to £80 or $80 a game, it's a more user friendly and a more inclusive strategy, and it seems to have kind of gone. That's a huge boost in that direction. Hi guys, it's Jazz from Paranormal Now. I hope you like the channel and hope you like the content. If you do, check out some of the other videos on the screen now and click the button below to subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you soon. Take care of yourselves.